When you hear that sound, you already know what it is. Hi guys, welcome back. This is our entertainment, where I see and I report back. And today, when I tell you that today's particular topic is actually going to be heated, because we're going to be discussing something very big, very particular. We're going to be looking at two powerful, independent women who have achieved success in their own particular right. We're looking at Garcelle Beauvais in comparison to Beau St. John. Let's take a deep dive. Today we're going to be specifically answering the question that everyone seems to be thinking, but no one has the guts or gusto to actually talk and question it. We have two beautiful women that one seems to be more accepted by the group, whereas the other was triggered by every statement. One seems to be more socially accepting and more adapting easily inside the group, whereas the other truly sticked out like a sore thumb the entire season. Let's look at it. I want to specifically focus on two type of clear distinctions that have become very prevalent on my particular end. Number one is approach, number two is alignment, and number three is perception. Let's talk about Garcelle. Garcelle's approach towards the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is very... Firstly, we're going to look at perception. Garcelle entered the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with a particular perception of this group, of the circle she's about to be into. And purely, it's because of her long history in the entertainment industry. Because Garcelle has been around for so long, she's familiar with Hollywood. She's been in the same circles with your Kyle Richards, with your Kathy Hiltons. She's very familiar with this Hollywood circle. So she was quite aware of how they are. So when she entered this particular group, she had her own perception and hence her approach. Her approach was well guarded. She entered into the group and said, I'm going to protect myself no matter what. I'm going to stand up for myself, not because of anything, but because she's aware of Hollywood as a whole and how these wealthy women tend to walk and talk at some degree. However, her approach is actually to a point where she was guarding, felt the need to speak at every point, felt the need to address every matter, and felt the need to be straightforward, point out everybody's flaws, and refusing to sympathize and understanding and to be a bit adaptable. It is her approach that actually didn't allow her to form meaningful relationships with these particular ladies. It is her approach that actually made her seem like she was a sore thumb stepping out of the group. It is her approach which actually cost her not to form a meaningful relationship with these particular ladies because she was well guarded. Bozoma, on the other hand, is seen as a breath of fresh air. It's because of her perception. When she looked at this particular group of ladies with her corporate background, she understood that, you know what, she's about to join a dynamic cast. And she went in there openly. It's the reason why when we notice Beau, she's able to adapt. She seems to be more sympathetic. She seems to be more accepted by the ladies because of her approach, her mannerism, the way she aligns herself, the way she articulates herself, the way even when she makes her point, she tries not to offend individuals. And I essentially feel like this is the very social dynamic which distincts Garcelle to Beau. I hope my clear distinction between these two ladies was tasteful and doesn't cause a social stir. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in at I Entertainment. I think you guys clearly see the distinction which I'm trying to point out here, which is perception is quite important when approaching a new cast of people, a new workplace, a new group, a new social environment, a new cast group. Perception is very important because the perception essentially will determine your approach, and your approach will essentially determine who you align with. And I purely feel like this is what we are seeing right now with these two ladies, and this is the particular comparison I wanted to bring to your attention. Thank you so much for tuning in at I Entertainment. Look out for another one. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.